Is this the monster snowstorm that could bury the East Coast under 2 feet of snow? Or will it slide harmlessly out to sea, leaving us with just a dusting? The models are at war right now, and what happens in the next 48 hours will determine if you need to stock up on supplies or if this is just another false alarm. Here is what you need to know right now. The European model says this storm stays offshore. The GFS model says we are looking at a historic nor'easter that could shut down Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York City, and Boston. One of them is right. One of them is very, very wrong. And I am going to tell you which one I think wins this battle. But first, let me give you the reward you came here for. If you are in the Mid-Atlantic or Northeast, here is your weekend forecast in plain English. Snow begins late Saturday night into Sunday morning for most of you. Peak intensity hits Sunday afternoon through Sunday night. The storm wraps up Monday morning. But here is the critical detail. The exact track of this low-pressure system will make the difference between 6 inches of snow and 2 feet of snow for cities along Interstate 95. Let me break this down city by city because timing is everything. And I know many of you are planning outdoor events this weekend. There is Mardi Gras happening in New Orleans and Galveston. The Daytona 500 is this Sunday. The Great American Outdoor Show runs through this weekend in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Palm Springs Modernism Week is still going strong, and thousands of you have winter carnival plans across the Northeast. New York City, Sunday morning starts dry. By noon, you are seeing the first flakes. By 6 p.m. Sunday, we are talking heavy snow. 2 to 4 inches per hour possible Sunday night into early Monday. The question is not if you get snow. The question is how much. Current range anywhere from 8 inches to 20 inches depending on the track. Philadelphia, similar timeline. Snow arrives Sunday afternoon. Heaviest snow Sunday night. This could be your biggest snowstorm since February 2021. That is 5 years ago. Schools will likely close Monday. Mayor Sherelle Parker has already put the city on notice. Washington, D.C. You start seeing snow by Sunday morning, but here is what nobody is talking about. Even if the main storm slides east, you still have cold air aloft, you still have moisture wrapping around, you are getting snow either way. The only question is 6 inches or 16 inches. Boston. You have gone over 1,400 days without a 6-inch snowstorm. That is the second longest streak on record. That streak ends this weekend. Snow arrives Sunday. Peak intensity Sunday night into Monday morning. Travel will be dangerous. Baltimore. Snowfall begins Sunday morning. Peak accumulation Sunday afternoon through Sunday night. The National Weather Service is already talking about this being potentially significant. Pittsburgh. You get in on this too. Snow starts Saturday night, continues through Sunday. Not as heavy as the coast, but still enough to make travel treacherous. Albany, Syracuse, Rochester. Upstate New York, you are looking at heavy snow regardless of the track. Lake enhancement will add to totals. Some areas could see over a foot easily. Hartford, Connecticut, Providence, Rhode Island, Portland, Maine, all of you are in the danger zone. This is classic nor'easter setup for you. Heavy snow Sunday into Monday. Now let me talk about timing for the outdoor events many of you are attending. If you are at the Daytona 500 on Sunday, you are fine. Florida stays warm. In fact, temperatures will be near 80 degrees in parts of the southeast this weekend before the Arctic blast arrives Monday and Tuesday. Mardi Gras in New Orleans on Tuesday, February 24th. You will feel that Arctic air by then. Temperatures dropping into the 30s for highs. Not typical Mardi Gras weather. Overnight lows could hit the 20s. This is important for anyone with outdoor parade plans. Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. If you are attending this weekend, Saturday is your best day. By Sunday, snow moves in. Monday, the show continues, but roads will be a mess. Palm Springs Modernism Week. You are golden. California stays dry and warm. In fact, the entire Southwest sees beautiful weather this weekend. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s. Saranac Lake Winter Carnival in the Adirondacks. This runs through this weekend. You will get additional snow Sunday. That is actually good news for winter carnival activities. Just plan for difficult travel Sunday into Monday. Now let me tell you why I think the European model is closer to reality than the GFS. And this is critical because it affects whether you need to change your weekend plans. The GFS has been consistently overdoing winter storms this season. It has a warm bias. It keeps showing massive snowstorms that do not materialize. The European model has been more reliable. Not perfect, but more reliable. Here's what I see happening. The storm develops offshore. It is close enough to bring snow, but the core stays east of the major cities. What does that mean for you, Washington, D.C.? 6 to 10 inches, not the 18 inches the GFS wants to give you. Baltimore. 7 to 11 inches, significant but not historic. Philadelphia. 8 to 12 inches, definitely a snow day but not the Blockbuster some models show. New York City. 10 to 14 inches, your biggest snow in several years but not the 2-foot monster the GFS is showing. Boston. 12 to 18 inches, you get the worst of it because the storm is closer to you. But here's what I want to stress. This forecast could change. By tomorrow, Thursday, we will have much better data. The National Weather Service flew reconnaissance aircraft into this system to gather more information. That data gets ingested into the models tonight. Thursday morning runs will be critical. So here is what I need you to do. Check back tomorrow for an update. Drop a comment below telling me where you live so I know which cities need the most detailed forecasts. Subscribe so you do not miss the update, because if this track shifts 50 miles west, those snow totals I just gave you could double. Now let me talk about what happens after this storm, because this is not a one-and-done situation. Arctic air floods in behind this system. We are talking dangerous cold. Sunday night into Monday, wind chills drop below zero across the Great Lakes and interior Northeast. Northern New England sees wind chills of 20 to 30 below zero. That is frostbite in 10 minutes or less territory. This cold air stays locked in place through Wednesday. Then we get a brief warm-up. Then another Arctic blast arrives for the weekend of February 28th into March 1st. Let me give you the temperature forecast for major cities through the end of the month, because this affects more than just this weekend. Chicago. High of 32 on Sunday, then temperatures crash, highs in the teens Monday and Tuesday. Overnight lows near zero or below. Minneapolis. You get hit even harder. Highs barely above zero Monday and Tuesday. Overnight lows 15 to 20 below zero. Dangerous cold. Detroit. Highs in the low 20s Monday and Tuesday. Wind chills below zero. Lake effect snow continues through the week. Cleveland, similar story. Teens and 20s for highs. Lake effect snow bands set up downwind of Lake Erie. Buffalo, you know the drill. Lake effect machine turns on. Additional 6 to 12 inches possible separate from the weekend storm. Now let me pivot to the western half of the country, because your weather is completely different right now. And I want to make sure everyone gets the information they need. California just got crushed with snow. The Sierra Nevada mountains saw 80 to 100 inches of snow this past week. That is over 8 feet. More snow is coming too. Another storm arrives Thursday, bringing heavy rain to lower elevations and several more feet of snow to the mountains. This is creating extremely dangerous avalanche conditions. If you have any mountain travel plans in California, Nevada, Oregon, or Washington, please check avalanche forecasts first. The danger rating is high to extreme across most western mountain ranges right now. Speaking of the West, let me give you the forecast for major western cities, because many of you are planning trips or live there. Los Angeles, dry and mild through the weekend. Temperatures in the 60s. Perfect weather. But another storm system approaches early next week, bringing rain Tuesday and Wednesday. San Francisco, similar forecast. Dry and pleasant through Sunday. Rain returns Tuesday. Seattle. You stay unsettled. Showers continue through the weekend, not heavy but persistent. Snow levels drop to around 3,000 feet in the Cascades. Several more feet of snow expected in the mountains through next week. Portland, Oregon. Showers through the weekend, snow in the Cascades. Travel over mountain passes will be difficult. Denver, cold but dry. Temperatures stay below freezing through the weekend. High of 28 Saturday, 32 Sunday. No major snow expected. Salt Lake City, warmer trend begins. High of 42 Sunday, climbing into the upper 40s early next week. Nice relief after a cold stretch. Phoenix, beautiful weather. Highs in the 70s all week. This is why people move to Arizona. Perfect conditions. Las Vegas, mid-60s for highs. Sunny and dry. Great weather for outdoor activities. Albuquerque, chilly but sunny. Highs in the 40s. Good weather for the International Balloon Fiesta area if you are visiting. Dallas. Here is where it gets interesting for you. Beautiful Saturday with highs near 70. Then the Arctic front arrives Sunday. Temperatures crash into the 40s Sunday afternoon. By Monday, highs only in the 30s. This is a 40-degree temperature drop in 24 hours. Houston, same story. Near 80 degrees Saturday. Then the bottom falls out. Highs in the 40s by Monday. Protect your pipes and plants. San Antonio, 70 Saturday, 40s Monday. Big change coming, Austin, similar forecast. Enjoy Saturday. Winter returns Sunday into Monday, New Orleans. Prepare for Mardi Gras and cold weather. Tuesday highs only in the upper 30s, overnight lows in the 20s. That is not typical for late February in Louisiana. Now let me talk about severe weather because this is not just a winter weather story. Saturday across the Deep South we have a severe weather threat. Alabama, Georgia, northern Florida, southern South Carolina. Damaging winds and tornadoes are possible Saturday afternoon and evening. This is ahead of the Arctic front. Cities at risk for severe storms. Saturday include Montgomery, Alabama, Columbus, Georgia, Tallahassee, Florida, Valdosta, Georgia, and Savannah, Georgia. Temperatures will be in the 70s and low 80s Saturday, creating that warm, unstable air. Then the front blasts through Saturday night, bringing the cold. Let me give you the 7-day outlook for more cities because I know many of you want specific information for where you live. Atlanta. Beautiful Saturday with highs near 75. Sunday drops to 55. Monday only 40 degrees. That is a 35-degree drop in 48 hours. Charlotte, North Carolina. Saturday in the 60s. Snow possible Sunday. Then temperatures crash. Highs only in the 30s Monday and Tuesday. Raleigh, North Carolina. Similar to Charlotte. Possible snow Sunday. Very cold Monday and Tuesday. Nashville. Saturday near 70. Sunday in the 40s with possible snow or mix. Monday high of 32. Wind chills in the teens. Memphis. Saturday in the upper 60s. Sunday drops to 45. Monday 36 degrees. Cold, but not as extreme as areas farther north. St. Louis. Saturday near 55. Snow arrives Sunday. High of 30 on Monday. Wind chills near 0. Kansas City. 50s Saturday. Snow Sunday. 20s Monday and Tuesday. Very cold. Oklahoma City. Upper 60s Saturday. Then the Arctic blast. 30s Sunday. 20s Monday. Wind chills near 0 Monday night. Omaha. 40s Saturday. Snow possible Sunday. Teens for highs Monday and Tuesday. Dangerous cold. Des Moines. Mid-40s Saturday. Snow arrives Sunday. Highs in the teens Monday. Single digits possible Tuesday morning. Milwaukee. Low 40s Saturday. Snow Sunday. Teens Monday and Tuesday. Lake effect. Snow continues. Indianapolis. Near 50 Saturday. Snow Sunday. Low 20s Monday and Tuesday. Wind chills below 0. Cincinnati. Low 50s Saturday. Snow or mix Sunday. 20s Monday and Tuesday. Columbus, Ohio. Similar to Cincinnati. 50s Saturday. Snow Sunday. Cold Monday and Tuesday. Pittsburgh. Upper 40s Saturday. Snow Saturday night into Sunday. 20s Monday. Teens Tuesday. Let me wrap this up with the big picture because I want you to understand what is happening. The polar vortex is splitting. When that happens, Arctic air floods south. This is not a one-day event. This is a pattern change that lasts through early March. We have multiple waves of Arctic air coming. This weekend is wave 1. Another arrives around March 1st. The models are showing yet another surge around March 5th or 6th. Spring is still several weeks away for most of the country, but here is the good news. After each Arctic blast, we get a brief warm-up. So it is not unrelenting cold. It is a roller coaster. Cold, warm up, cold again, warm up. That is typical for late winter as we transition towards spring. My advice for this weekend. If you are in the path of the snowstorm, get your supplies today or tomorrow. Bread, milk, batteries, whatever you need. Do not wait until Saturday. By Saturday afternoon, stores will be mobbed. If you have travel plans Sunday or Monday in the Northeast or Mid-Atlantic, strongly consider changing them. This storm arrives at the worst possible time. Sunday afternoon is peak travel time. Monday morning commute will be a disaster. Check on elderly neighbors. This cold is dangerous. Make sure they have heat and supplies. Frostbite happens quickly in this kind of cold. Protect your pipes. If you are in the South and not used to freezing temperatures, let your faucets drip Monday night into Tuesday morning. Temperatures will be in the 20s even in places like Houston and Atlanta. And please drop a comment telling me where you are watching from. That helps me know which cities need the most detailed coverage in tomorrow's update. Subscribe so you do not miss it. Hit the notification bell because this situation is evolving hour by hour. The biggest question we still need to answer is the exact track of Sunday's storm. Does it come far enough west to bury the I-95 corridor, or does it stay offshore and spare the big cities? By tomorrow, we will know. Until then, stay weather aware, stay safe, and I will see